Hello, hello.
Hello.
Yes. Yeah. Any questions? You can share your screen if you want.
Yep. Just like on here or the breakout room?
Yeah, just here.
Is here. Yeah, I just have some questions about the UDP stuff. Right now, currently it's not really working. It's sending the file to the it's not sending the file to the other directory, it's sending it to the same one.
Yep.
So like if I do yeah, it doesn't, I don't know what it's doing. Should I show my code?
Maybe not. So what's the problem right now? So I see you should the command upload or something.
Yeah. So I uploaded it and then it saves it in here. Because when I receive it, I just rename it to test.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's
So
not.
you are running the client from the same folder.
No, I'm not. I can show you my folder structure if you want. So yeah, so one client here and then one client here.
Okay. So you are trying to use the client to send it?
Yeah,
The
I'm trying to
test
send
client.
from here to here.
Okay.
But
But in another terminal, I didn't see it has any message about it.
yeah, that's because it's sending it. It's not receiving it from here. It's receiving it from here, I think.
Yeah, so I guess you have the wrong configuration, I guess. So you are sending to yourself.
Yeah, I think is that an issue with like the port number or something, or like the
Yes, that's the port number issue.
okay, so
So,
when I run the file, should the port number be the same for both or
no, different.
different?
Yes.
So
So you run the target client first, right hand side, I guess.
yeah, so
Oh yeah, okay. The is fine.
and
And
then this
this the
different
port
port.
number is 8,000 or 5541?
5541. That's
Okay,
the
it's
port.
5541. Okay. So 5541 is the UDP port number.
And
Yep.
then
So
if I try, yeah. Nothing shows up here.
yes. So I think you need to have a check of your client of PY about the
Yep,
port number. Maybe you write down the fixed port number.
a fixed port
Yeah.
number.
So the first step you want to check is, did you get the UDP port number from the server, right? So because you have to know the port number from another client to send the file.
Yeah, so I get the port number from the edge device log, right?
Yes, so you want to check if you can print it out first, right? So you need to check if you do have the port number or not. If you do, then you check like while the sending, if you like put the wrong input on the address or not. So you are trying to send to another client, which is in another port number. So try to figure out what is the address, and yeah, just have a double check of the address, I think.
Okay. And should the IP address for both of these be the same?
Which
The
IP address?
Like the UDP IP that I pass into the socket.
IP is the same because you are using the local host.
Yeah.
But the port number is different.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just check the IP address. Should not be a big problem, I guess.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
All good.
Oh yeah, I was also wondering if you had released the recording for yesterday. Yeah.
Yes, I am uploading right now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, I have a doubt, but it's not really like, I just need to know, how do I send a UDP port from the client to the server? Because like I established the connection with TCP, but I don't know how to send. Like, because like in the spec, it's written after the edge device has been authenticated and like connects to the network. Like it has to send a UDP port to the server.
Yes.
I don't know how to do that.
Just like the way how you send the username and password. Like, for example, you have already done the login, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for the login, how do you send the message?
Oh, the user inputs it. Then like after that, the server gets the message.
Yes. So like I'm asking the format of the message. Like, how did you send the message from the client to the server? Like, what kind of format? Like,
Oh,
is
it's
it
just
in plain text or something like that?
Oh yeah, it's in like plain text. Then I encoded, then send it.
Yes. So you can like add the port number within that one, right? Like,
Oh yeah, how do I do that
for
though?
example, admin and password. Maybe you are sending like this, like from the client side to server side. Okay,
Oh
we
no,
can
I'm not
check.
sending it like that.
Maybe like this, or you can anyway, like you can type it so I can see something like this.
Like my one is like username, then like enter, then password, then enter.
Yeah, I know, but how do you send the username and password to the server side?
I just use the server.send, then the message.
Yes, I'm asking about the content. What's
Oh,
the
the
content
content.
you send?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. It's just yeah, same.
Yeah, so it should be something like this: login, admin, password, something like that. So you are using some like space or comma to split them.
Yep.
Is it like this? So you can add the port number.
But only in the first one, is it?
Yeah. So this one is the login.
But what if I get it wrong? What if suppose when I log in, like it's the wrong password? Should I send again the port number?
Yes, I think so. So every time you can attach your port number, right?
Oh, okay,
Or
okay.
or otherwise you can like do the login first. After you log in successfully, then you send an extra message about it.
Okay. Wait, can I like? Are you allowed to like see our code and stuff?
Yes, I can see your code, but like we are doing recording here, so
Oh, okay.
it's better not to show all of your code.
Okay,
But
okay.
you can show your like problem, like what's the bug of that. You can show the problem of it, so we can have a look.
Okay, let me try the way you told me, and I'll come back.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
Hi, Ray.
Hi.
I have some similar questions as William just asked.
Uh-huh.
So you cited the message format is like login, admin, password, post number.
Uh,
So like the command UED, the server will write something into a file, and the file name consists of the edge device name and the file ID, right?
yes.
Yeah, and so how did the server know the username it is talking to?
Yes. So you have login, right?
Yeah.
So after logging, the server must know who is this from this IP address and from this phone number, right? Because so firstly, you are using multi-threading, like right? So you are running multiple threads on the server side. So once you have a new client connected to it, you will create a new thread.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in this thread, there is one username and one UDP port number and etc. Right? So
Yeah.
maybe you are confusing, like how can the server identify each one? Like for example, there are a couple clients connected to it, but how the server knows? But in server's perspective, it is only handling one at a time, only one client at a time, because the server is creating the new thread to handle the new user. So just consider we have only one client at a time. Do you know the username and password? Of course you know.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
So
the only reason the server will not be confused because it is multi-threading. So every thread have only one user.
yeah, I'm confusing about should we accept a variable to record the user name?
Yes,
I
you can
mean,
do it. You can do it like the IP address and port number and what is the username. You can do this, but like, why do we need to do this?
yeah. So currently, the problem I'm facing is that when the user sends a message to the server, the message is just like UED1, right? And this message does not contain the username.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So my approach is like you send a message, and the first two words in the message are UED, file ID, and add another word as the username. Like the whole message is UED1 super smart word. But I think that
So
is
yeah,
redundant.
there are a lot of way to do it. So the best way to do, in my point of view, is just modify the class in server. In your server.py, you have a class about the threading, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so you can
fine.
save a variable for that. Like you can save self.username. So when you do the login, right? But if you are not familiar with the class, you may be like a bit confused about it. So the easiest way to do it is when you send the UED command. When you send the command, you just attach with the username.
Yeah. I actually use the class approach, right? So I have already add a new attribute as the username. Say I add an attribute as self.username, and I
Yeah.
initialize it to be 9. And
Yes.
after one user has successfully logged in, I set the self-username to
Yes.
to the username, and the username is returned by the self.process login. Am I on the right approach? On the right track?
It's okay. So when you do the login, you just save the username into a variable like self.username. So you don't need to return it. You just save it.
Yeah, but if I do not return the username by a function,
Yeah.
how should I know the username, or from where I get the username?
Yes. So just a quick example. Yeah, I'm sharing my screen right now. Maybe the assignment demo. The TCP client and server. So let me think. Just have a quick demo of this. Just open this one with Spider. And the client server. So we want to maybe print the username here. How about that? So we want to print the username somewhere. Let's say you have the client thread at the server side, and you can issue the self.username. It's none. Is this what you did?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I put it in the init. So every time we issue a new thread, it will contain a empty username. And then once we come to the login, once we do the login, I want to save the username into that variable. So if login success, then we can change the username self.username equal to the username. Right? So that's how we do it. And I don't need to return it because I already saved the username inside the self.username. And next time we can print a username is self.username. So every time it will print this one. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so it's running. Oh, maybe not here. Not a good idea. Let me see. Where should we put? Maybe I will have a new function in here. I just print name. If print in message, then we print username. Yep, and see how it goes. So we have a new function, which is print. So once we send a print from client to server, it should be able to show the username. And of course,
Yeah.
I also want to show the IP address and the other stuff. So you can see the client address is in here. So the client address. So let me just add here ADDR. Okay, so let's see how it goes. Python 3 TCP server. In here, it's Python 3 TCP client. So the first function, login. Let me log in first. And I don't remember the credentials.
Super smart word.
Because I'm not sure if I set it as a fixed value or not. I need to check my process login. So if login success, yeah, I do open the stuff. So I need to know this one. Super smart watch comp. Nice. Wait, one. Okay, so login success, and then let me try to issue a print. So you can see, it can show my TCP port number. This one is the TCP port number, and this is the username, right?
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so I didn't return anything. I just save it into a variable. So I just show you the key step again. So what I did is once I just put one row in here. So if login success, then I just set the username into self username. So I save in self.username, which means you can use it anywhere inside this class.
I see.
So if you save it in here, outside this function, you cannot use it.
Yes,
The
because this
username here.
function
So,
is within the class.
yeah, yes. So outside this function, the login function, you cannot use this username. But if you save it in self.username, you can use it anywhere you want.
I see. That's super clear. I have one more question and just a quick one. I'll let others to ask theirs first. Okay. Yeah. So like as you said, the number 44812 on the left hand side of your screen, that is the TCP port number, and
Yes.
so later on we will upload the video file via UDP. How do you differentiate between TCP protocol and UDP protocol?
Like, do you mean in the program or by
Yes,
ourselves?
by program.
Okay, so because for our side, we can clearly see that when we initiate the socket, we specify this one is the TCP. But the program does not know this, but of course it could be no. But the easiest way to identify them is just saving different variable. Like let's say you can say self.tcp addr equal to num self.udp addr is none. So what we need to do, just save some variable inside here, so we can the TCP addr is pretty easy to get it. So you can put it here or put it somewhere like on the login. So you can self the TCP addr should equal to where is it? Maybe outside here, but yeah, let's just do it here. Doesn't really matter. So once it log in, actually we gave the TCP address here. So actually we can just simply use it here. But we don't know the UDP ADDR, right? Because the client didn't tell us what is the UDP number. So we need to figure out by ourselves. So maybe after the login, so I don't need this one because I already have the TCP. So after this login, maybe you can issue another command like self.get UDP ADDR, and you can create a new function about it. So we need to create a new function. We can define, where is this? Get UDP ADDR. So, yep, and parse, and yeah, the indent is wrong. It's like should be like this. So we can use this function to get the UDP ADDR from the client side. So in here, maybe we can just send a message to the client to ask for it. So the step 1, ask client to Yeah, so we can have something like this. Get UDP ADD, maybe UDP port. We don't need the IP address, right? Because we already know that it is the same as the TCP one, but we don't know what is the UDP port. So it will return an integer and return port, UDP port. UDP port is equal to none at first, and you need to do something to ask. Maybe you can like design the protocol, depends on you. So you can send a message to the client, or you can, I don't know, or just wait for it. It depends on your side. So after you do the login, you can self the UDP ADP port. Yeah, UDP port. You can say self the UDP port equal to this one. So after we successfully log in, then we ask for the UDP port number. Yeah. And then we come to this function. This function should send the message to ask the client to give us the UDP port number. Right?
I see. Yeah.
So
I see.
it's pretty easy in the client side, because in the client side, we have the variables in here. So in here, I just change it to 4. Yeah. And the UDP port should be the last one. UDP port should be the last one. So we save it in here. Then once the server wants us to give the UDP code, UDP port number, then we can send it to here. So you can do this by yourself. It should not be very hard. Just send a message.
Yes. So regarding this, are you saying that only after the client log in by TCP port can the server get its UDP port number?
Yes. So basically in here, you can see the server is using this function to get the number from the client. So it is basically asking what is the name of it. So we don't even need to care about it. So it's basically asking what is this value from the client side. In the client side, what is this value? So obviously it's saving in this variable. So all we need to do is just send to the server side.
Yeah, so the UDP port number and the TCP port number are sent by the client to the server simultaneously, or one after another.
Yeah, you can do it simultaneously, but maybe one after another, I guess. So we can get the TCP address automatically. Do you know what is the reason? So we don't need to send the TCP address or the port number, right? We don't need to have, we didn't need to do this, right? We get this one automatically. So do you know where did we get it from the code?
Like the client address.
Yes. So where did we get the client address?
From the TCP client, from the message that's sent by the, like there is the connection established by the
yes, true. So you can see at this line 138, we accept a new connection, then we got the address already. So we don't need to send it. But for the UDP, because our connection is not depends on this one, so we don't have this information except we need it. So we need to have a send a message about it. So from the client side, client must send from somewhere to the server, and the server can save it. So that's the reason why I designed a new function to do it. So get the UDP port, like just a very simple example. I can try to like socket, maybe self the sockets. How can we send a message? Let me check. Reply message. Yeah, so that's how we send it. Yep. So we can set print asking for the UDP for now on the user, so the username. So after login successful, then we just print this message. It says we are asking for the UDP port number, and we can send a message to do it. So what's the message? We can say, what is your UDP port? Okay, anyway, just something like this. We send this one to this server, but we need to get the message, right? So I will not do this one, but you can do it, and you can do IECV. Okay, the IECV something, but you may need to be careful of this one. Like if you didn't get it back, you may have some trouble. So you may stuck in here. Maybe just get away, and yeah. So how about
do some error handling? Try
yes,
and
you,
catch.
you may need to do some error handling. If you just use the client socket.IECV, you may have some trouble with it because you have a while true loop in here, and you keep receiving the message already in here. So if you use this one again, like I just copy this code again to here, I may have some trouble in here because if I didn't receive the reply from the client side, then I will stuck in here forever. And what if the client send me another message? That will be a huge issue. So just be aware of that. We may have some trouble here. And when we can print message and see how it goes. And the message. Okay. So I didn't save it for here. Maybe just UDP port equal to int message and print. Just print the UDP. Okay, maybe. Okay, so in the client side, then we need to modify the coding here. So if the message equal to login, so we need to see if the receive message equal to this one, then we do this, then else. So maybe add something here. Else if yeah equal to this one, then we can reply a message or something. Reply. How can we reply it?
Client socket dot send
Yeah.
all.
Yes. So just send this one. Send this one. So what is the message here? It is should be this one. Should be the UDP port. We just simply send the UDP port in here. Yeah, so this is a string. We just send a string. May have some problem here. I'm not sure if it could work, but you can try it. So restart. We're already in use. And this one. And the port number, UDP port number 12345. And we will try to log in to Super Smart Watch comp 9331. Okay, so you can see asking for the UDP phone number from the Super Smartwatch, and the value is in here, 12345. So that's how we send the UDP message. This is just an example. Doesn't mean this one is the best way, because as you can see here, I receive some message. I'll just send the message in here and receive a message here, which is not good, because if we have lots of this kind of stuff in our function, which means we may get stuck in somewhere that we may not know. So try to maintain only one place that you have this code, socket.send. So we don't want to send the message in different function. We want to maintain all the send stuff at only one function. So try to reduce this one, the usage of the send function. Otherwise, you maybe you have some problem with that. The send is okay, but for the receiving is more critical about this. So just be aware of that. Try to reduce the usage of receive. So you can try to search how many receive are you using inside your program. Like in here is 1 and 2. We have 2 of usage. So try to reduce the usage of RECV, because once you issue this command, we will stuck in here and waiting for the message, which is no good. Yeah, but that's the other stuff. So firstly, we want to do the function at first. So that's how to send the UDP, just like a message.
Well, my guess is just like we eliminate the client's socket.send function from the get UDP port function, and
Yeah,
we send and receive the message only in 1 or 2 lines of the whole while loop.
yes. So maybe we can do it with the login function. So once we have login, then we just put the message into the process login. Then maybe we can do it here. The split we can attach it with the UDP port at this place. So we can just simply have the UDP inside this place. The message equal to login password and the UDP port number. So all we need to do is just put it here. So the time we log in, we just send it. We don't need to have new function. We just attach with our port number. So, and we receive it here. And we just save it. So the UDP port equal to this one. And then it's the same. So login success. Yes. And maybe not here. Login success. Then we can just print it. Then we don't need this function anymore. So just print self the, what is the TCP one? TCP address is in here. UDP port. It's like this. It's not consistent. Just be aware of that when you name it. So self TCP ADDR. No, TCP ADDR.
Yeah.
You can print the TCP one. Let's print the TCP and username. The username and TCP and the UDP. So the UDP port. Okay, so once we log in success, then we will print the username and this one. And we can add a new line. Okay, so that's the new password. Let's see how it works. So run the server and run the client login function. Oh, fell. I don't know.
Maybe this.
Maybe
way
a
is
new line, I
needed.
guess. Super smart. But you can see we have sent the UDP phone number already. So
Yeah.
it should not be a problem. Oh, made another mistake. Just cancel it.
One more time to go.
Super smart watch. No, login. Super smart. Okay, login success. And yeah, you can see super smart watch the TCP, the UDP. Yeah, so
Yeah.
a lot of way to do it. It's just like send a message.
Yeah, so the difference between TCP and UDP by the program is just the one more port number provided by the client, right?
Yes, because the client doesn't care about the UDP. The server doesn't care about it because we were not using it. But we are only using the TCP one. So we don't care about the UDP port number at this point. So once you
Yeah.
need it, you may need to send it, right? So just treat it as a message.
I see. I see.
It's some data from the client side and to get it and save it.
I got it. This is truly helpful. Thank you so much.
That's so good. Like any other questions from others? Like, yeah, please let me know because I'm talking too long on this. Maybe kind of waste of time. Just let me know if you have any question. Like you can raise your hand or something, so I can know that. Or you can just open your mic.
Hey Rui,
Hello.
I'm back. I've tried to fix it up, but now I'm having a different problem where I'll share my screen again so you can see the.
Yes.
Yeah, so now I can only like I can send the message from this one to this one, but
Yes.
but from this one to this one it doesn't work. So if I go,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know why. So
Okay. Let's see. Oh, by the
so-
way, how do you arrange this terminal like this? It's so perfect.
oh, I just did it manually.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought you have some like quick
shortcut or something. No.
shortcut or something. Okay. Okay. Let's
So
go.
if I create a
ADG.
file, so like one
Uh-huh.
and then I just try to send that file with UDP, right? I can do this, yeah.
Mhm.
If I send it to device 1 and then super smart watch 1, that's the file. It receives the file,
Mhm.
kind of, not really, but
Okay.
it still kind
Okay.
of receives
Yeah.
it. But then if I do it the other way, so
I can see. As at least they establish some kind of connection.
yeah. But now if I do create a file, say edg1, and then I try send that. Send it to oh wait, what?
1-1.
Oh, it's the other way around, is it? No, it should be active.
Maybe restart it.
Yeah, restart it.
UVF. But it shouldn't be a video file, isn't it?
It should be a video file, but yeah, I'm just testing it with a normal
Okay.
to establish the connection.
Yeah, that's all good.
Yeah, it doesn't, there's nothing here. But then if I try it from this side, yeah. Send this one. Oh. There's like still some connection, but from this
Yes.
one to this one, it doesn't work. I'm not sure why. And I have all the receive, like the receive and send code is all in the client.py.
Okay.
Obviously.
So UVF command, I can see from the left hand side, you can right hand side, you can send to the left hand side. They
Yeah.
establish the UDP connection, but from the left hand side, you cannot
Yeah.
do connection with the right hand side. So are they using the same UDP port number?
No.
That's the first question.
So you can see here, I printed out the response.
So
port
this
number.
is the destination port number 5541 in the right hand side. Yes,
Yeah.
I can see that. You get it.
And this one 5,000, which is here.
Yeah, okay. So you already got the correct port number, but you just cannot establish the connection.
Yeah.
So right.
But yeah, I don't know why it's only doing it one way.
That's strange.
Yeah.
That's strange. But like, can you fix this problem here, the UDP sending problem?
Sorry.
Like, set UDP protocol you're using right now is not working, right?
Yeah, it's not.
So just fix this one first and see how it goes. Because it looks good, shouldn't not.
Yeah.
Maybe just check the code in the client.py. Did you use the fixed value?
I
mean,
don't think I used any fixed value because it should be sending it to this one, right?
yes.
Would it have anything to do with how if I
Like,
implemented
can you
the
try to two different UDP phone number right now, like 6000 and 6001?
what do you mean? So
Like restart 6000 and 6001.
here?
Yeah, yes. Right hand side is 6001. Let's try to send it.
And then try to send which one?
Yeah, like both way.
This way. So UDP. Yeah. Yeah, port 6001. file name 1
Doesn't work.
No. But
Okay, so
I can try
how
this
about
side.
this one?
So yeah, it's
Oh.
still like prints the received file, and then because yeah, port 6000 file name. I thought yeah, I've been stuck on this one for the whole day, so I
IP,
can't.
IP, the port number 6000, 6001, 1. Is it because of the file name?
Well, the
Your
file
name
name
is
is
different.
just this one because I'm trying to send this.
Yeah, so from the left, how about from the left hand side? Can you issue the ls command?
I'm just trying to send this one. It's a bit confusing because I added the device names to 1 and 1 just to make it easy.
Yeah, so try to send the like video. How about try to
Yeah, if I try to send a video, it doesn't work.
it's the same?
Um,
Like, are you sure the code is the same, like in different folder?
yeah, should be. I copy pasted. Oh, actually, yeah, that might be a good. I should
Yeah,
probably
so
have
maybe you
double
have
check
some
that.
updates and
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense. You can from left hand to
Yeah,
right hand
yeah,
side,
maybe
but
I'll have a check actually because it might be that.
yeah.
Okay, all good. Thank you.
Okay, who's next?
Hi, Ray. May I continue to ask my question?
Yeah.
Yeah. So about the command UED, like the message about the command is UED file ID, but this is only the message sent by the client. How about the data sample?
Mhm.
Which message is sent by the client and received by the server?
Is it the UED?
Yes,
Right.
UED.
So any issue with that?
Yeah. So I'll share my screen about the assignment specification. So this is the command UED,
Mhm.
and the server can only receive the command, but how does the server receive the data sample sent by the client?
You can send an extra message about it. Like we already know how to send a file from client to server, right?
Yes, like you read them.
Yeah,
Wait,
just like
do we
the
read them line by line or just read them all and send and encode them and send them all to the server?
yeah, you can do at once. Just read them all and send it. But in
Yeah.
the server side, you maybe worry about the size of it. But firstly, you don't worry about it. Because if we send a very large file, we may have some error because you didn't handle it while receiving it. But don't worry first, just send the file like what we did yesterday on the UDP.
Oh, yesterday we did we did this using a while loop and we set the size to be 1024, right? 1024. And each time we read those bytes of the file, we send it, and we continue to read those bytes of file and send it again. So why don't we send them all? Is that what, as you just said, we want to
Yeah,
do
because
some
we
error
don't
handling?
because we don't know the size at first, right? So we never know what's the size from the client side they could use. So that's the reason why we use a while loop. Or you can change to a very large value. It could work for most of the scenario, but it may fail if we have very large file.
Oh, I see. So how can we send one more message except for the command? How to implement that? Like this is achieved by client socket send message.
Yes, so you can just send 2 message. It's okay. That
Is that one more line added below that client socket send message?
you can do this just like the HTTP protocol, but depends on you. Like, how did you send the message to the server? You can send 2 separate message, or you can send 1 message.
And containing the command and the
Yes, you
message.
can do this. It's like a lot of way to do it. Just like how we send the UDP port number, just replace the port number with the like the data of the file or something.
I see. So, yeah, I'm considering just the one add one more string concatenated to this string, and this string includes the command and the file data sample.
Yeah, this is okay. Or you can just send a file, like try to write a function that allows you to send a file, which is better because if you do send a string, you need to read it first and you need to encode it, which may cause some error during this process. Like even it's unlikely to happen, but just in case or something, maybe you can just send a file directly.
So sorry, I asked the same question yesterday, but
Yeah.
if I remember correctly, you said the file object cannot be sent directly.
But I have showed the code of how to send a file, isn't it? We
Yes.
try to send a JPG file. So we just open it with the byte. If you still remember the parameters with the open function, it is
Yes,
open the file with RB, right? So that's
yes.
the key to send it. So just use that one. That will work.
Okay. So there will be 2 send statements. One includes the message and one comes from the send file function. But will it not cause some troubles if there are two sockets sent from the client?
So what will be the problem with two sockets?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the coding convention about implementing TCP things. So do you think that's suitable for including two lines? One line is client socket sends this command, and then one more line contains the statements. Like
Yes, you can try to do it first, and you can check if you can send it or not. So it could work.
oh, I see. Apart from the TXT file type, how about the video type? Are they the same thing, like read bytes?
Which one?
Yeah. So in the peer-to-peer,
Yeah, P2P.
P2P will ask to send the video type file. So how can we read the video file and send them to the server? Are they
Yeah, it's
doing
the
same
same.
thing?
Yeah, I have showed it yesterday. It's the same one.
Like from the start of the consultation.
Yes, you remember yesterday we have sender and receiver code.
Yeah, and you
Yeah,
you
that one
include the two
yeah,
one.
yeah, that will work. We send the pictures of it, but the picture is the same as the video.
Are you seeing this kind of code? Is it from yesterday?
Do you have a screenshot? I don't have it right now. I'm uploading the
No,
recording.
I'm sharing my screen.
Okay, I see.
So are you seeing these blocks of code as a code to send the video file?
Sure. Yeah. So can you just use these two to send a video file and see if it's working or not?
I haven't tried it, but so as a result, the data is a file, is a video file type, right?
Yeah.
Video file type object.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should the client receive and send files in through the same socket via UDP? No, it's different. So when you create a UDP socket, to create a UDP server, you have a fixed value of the UDP server listening on. But once you try to send a file from your UDP socket to another client, you will use a random port number to do it. But yeah, the socket is the same. But I don't recommend you to do it like in server side. So you can do it, but it may cause some problem.
I just mean like, do I have to, so when I send a file, do I create a new socket, a new UDP socket, or use the same one as the same socket that I receive from?
You can use the same socket, but it's not recommended to do it because it may cause some problems. So the first problem is because the socket, which is the substrate, yeah, it's already inside the substrate. It's very hard to control it.
Oh,
right?
true. I can't just return the socket or something.
Yeah, so first thing is you are not really easy to handle the socket at the time because you already run the subthread and you cannot like give them some parameters. You can have, but it's a little bit complex. then you just create a new socket.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I think I also finished asking my question. Thank you.
Yep.
Hello.
Hello.
Can I ask some questions now?
Yes.
The first is I would like some clarifications, like for example, for the EDG command, can we assume that the EDG will have no more than 2 parameters?
EDP.
Like EDG, sorry, EDG, and the example is 1 and 100. So,
Yes. So you're asking about like if we
so
can
I'm
give them.
asking if, like, for example, I have an EDG
Uh-huh.
1,
Uh-huh.
100, and
Yes.
2.
Yes.
Will it be a like correct command?
It's not the correct command. It should return an error. You can say
Okay.
wrong usage.
So we should have exactly 2 parameters after EDG,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And the second is like, can we assume the file ID and data amount, also the EDG one, be positive integer?
Yes. So you can also run a check. You can say check the file ID is not correct or data amount is not correct.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if the file ID can be a negative integer.
Maybe not. I don't think. It says file ID is an integer, so it has to be positive.
Okay, cool. And also I have an issue, like I didn't manage to maintain the login file times and the login block when I use different like users, or like when I use different terminals.
And
Like for example, like I use one terminal and then I tried twice as invalid password,
yeah.
and then I use another terminal to try
Yeah.
to log in with the same username, but it
I
will,
see.
I think will reinitialize the dictionary to 0 again.
But in this case, shouldn't we just consider they are separate or not? Should we consider them like in separate terminals, so they should have separate counter?
I thought they should be considered together, because in the assignment they say like even they are from different IP address, like they
Let me
should
just have a
yeah.
quick check.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it says it cannot be. Let me open it. I think it's about the block, but not about how can we judge it. But yeah, it should be considered in this way. Let me share my screen.
Yes.
Oh. So even from another IP address, it is describing this sentence. So cannot join the network during this 10-second duration. Even you open another terminal, you cannot join it. But for the block itself, it doesn't say even from different IP address. So I think it should be fine. Like you failed 2 times here, and you can still fail 3 times and in another terminal. I think it's not a big deal, but just in case this corner case be tested, you can just set a global variable about the block.
I don't
So
get that part. Like how?
yes, so like for example, can you show? Do you have the terminal in your hand that
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
use it? So you
Yes,
can
I do.
share your screen, but do not show your code. Just show how you run it, and just
Okay.
I want you to put like the wrong password in 3
Okay.
times in a row, and let's see
Okay.
how it goes.
Okay, I'll share my screen right now. Yeah.
Yes.
Like currently, yeah, the service menu.
Yeah. So open 3 terminal, which is good, and yeah.
And
Okay,
this
so
is not works.
okay. Okay, 3. Yeah. Okay, that's good. And try to log in right now. Yes, be quick.
I can still log in. I think the things like because
Yeah, this is okay, but you
this is
cannot log
okay.
in. Yeah, it is okay.
Okay.
Just type the super smart watch again and
Well, I
see.
think it's beyond 10 seconds already.
Yeah, you can change it to 20, 60 seconds. Yeah, but just
Okay.
this time just be quick and let's see how it goes. Yeah, and do it again to the smartwatch.
No.
Yeah, so you didn't block it, right?
I did block it like in my code, but I think the problem is like once I like end the terminal, I mean,
Okay, I see. You lost
yeah,
the data, right? You
yeah, I
lost the
lost the data.
dictionary.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you need to save it in another place in the server.py, like outside the subthread. Yeah, because
So
once you
okay.
disconnect it, the thread is closed, right? So
Yeah.
you just lose everything inside. So
Yeah.
you need to save it to somewhere, or you need to save it to a dictionary or something like that
Okay.
outside of this thread. So do you know how to do it?
I'm thinking to use the global variable.
Yeah, this will work.
Okay. That makes sense then.
Yeah,
Okay.
if it doesn't work, you can just save it to a like local file or something.
Oh, we can save data into the local file.
Yeah, this is fine. Just like save it to a new file or something.
Okay, cool. And also just would like to double check, like, because in the spec they mention like we need to add some like the informations about the UDP port and also the user name into a log file. I'm wondering this action, where should I like do this action, on the server side or on the client side?
To save the log, right? It should
Yeah,
be in server side.
server side. Okay, cool. Yeah, all good. I don't have any question now then. I'll just try the global variables right now.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah, thank you.
all good. Are there any help sessions consultation where you can look at the code? So usually we don't help on coding, but I can help to handle the bugs. Because if I teach you to how to code directly, it will not be very fair for other students. But yeah, I can just have a look of the bug you have and help to figure out. Timeout error, it's the same as timeout. I'm not sure why I accept it's not working today. Yes, it's different. So you need to check like which timeout error is this. So you need to import the error first. So the timeout, I think it's inside the socket library. Oh, strange. So the first thing you need to check is like the reason why you didn't catch it, if the name is correct, or otherwise, is the error inside your try bracket or not? Maybe outside or somewhere. So just check the error details about it. Or you can show it, then you can check. So maybe just the name of the error. Yeah, coming from like 30. Okay, so I think the exception name, I guess. So you can try to use try blah 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 except out blah blah blah. You can add except yes. So at the except exception as e at the end. So the last line will catch every exception beside the timeout. See if you can catch it. And then yeah, just import this one. Maybe just the wrong type of error. Does it need to be except? I think so. I think it's this one. Yes, yes. about the out command. How can we terminate the connection from the client side? You can send a message to the client side to ask the client to close it.
Would that be it? So it's not actually like terminating the connection, it's sending a message to the server and the server terminates the connection?
Yes, so the easiest way to do it is not to do it. So you do not do anything once the out command has been issued. So usually the out command is issued in the client side, right?
Yeah.
So the client just simply close the socket, just
Mhm.
socket.close, just run the function and it's okay. But the only issue is on the server side, because the server side, once you close the connection in the server side, it may have an error. So if you can handle the error, you don't need to do anything.
Okay. Because I think I tried socket.close,
Mhm.
but like that didn't do anything.
So, what do you mean by it didn't do anything? It does do anything. It does do like close the socket. But
Okay.
but like, are you expecting it has some output or something?
No output, no.
Yeah, so just close it because we just want to close the TCP connection properly. Yeah, so or you can just simply close it. I think it should be fine, but it may have an error on the server side.
Right.
Yeah, so the only problem between you close it properly and not properly is the port number. So if you close the socket properly, you
Mhm.
can get the port number back directly and reuse it. Otherwise, you have to use another one, but it should not be a huge problem in the client side, because
Yeah.
every time we connect to the server side, we choose a random port number. So it doesn't really matter if we can get a port number back or not.
Okay. The port number for the peer-to-peer connection?
No, it's for the TCP connection.
Okay. Right. Okay, I'll try that out. Thank you.
Yeah, that's okay.
Hello, Ray.
Hi.
Yeah, it's me again. Like I just tried the global variable, but
Mhm.
I'm not sure. I think it doesn't work. Can you please like talk a
Yeah.
little bit more about how it works?
Yeah, sure. Like, maybe it's better to show my screen on this. Let me just have a quick example for this one.
Yeah.
So in the server side, so this is the client graph.
Yep.
And every time we have new connection, we will create this one. But once the connection is finished, then we will like close it and we will all lost all the information inside.
Yeah.
So in here you can see I have a login block.
Yeah.
It is blocking the admin to this time. So maybe we need to do something about this one, like to make it as a global variable. So what is the error that you have right now?
I don't have any error. It's
Yeah.
just like I think I put it in the proper way. Like it should be the global because it's outside the class. But when I tried it, it still doesn't work. It doesn't block the username.
So it doesn't work, but did you try outside of this one? Does it?
Yeah, I tried to put it outside of this class.
Yeah, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work. So
Like, so what is the problem for it? Like, what kind of doesn't work? So, for example, I have this one, login dot block outside of the class.
Yep.
And then I want to make it as a global variable. So it's just maybe delete this one. I don't need it. And maybe here I just, oh sorry, I cannot control. Okay, I can't do it. So just the global login block. So I guess now I can access this one. Not pretty sure.
oh, so shall I use like put the global in front of the variable for every time when I call it?
Let me try it. Like I have a dictionary outside, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I call the global login block at this point. And then maybe I want to modify this one, like logging log as equal to true. And here. So I try to add one more value into this dictionary, and maybe just add the time info. Yeah, like this, and let's check if we change the value or not. So we just print the login block at this point. So once we initialize it, then we print it. Let's see if we add one more value or not.
Okay.
So let me run it. Yeah, so you can see I changed the dictionary, and let's see if we change it outside of it. So we delete this part. So this one is inside the class, but what if we close it? We close the thread. So maybe it's somewhere. Yeah, but how can we run it after we close it? Maybe we print it every 5 seconds. Like leave. Like this. Every 5 seconds we print this dictionary.
Yeah.
And then in here we do not print anything. We just change it, but we don't print it. So we can only see this. Okay. Fix it. 8. Oh, I didn't import this time. Import the library. Yes, you can see every 5 seconds we print this one in this word. So even outside of the class, we can still see we did change this dictionary.
Okay, okay, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, good. So just, I think just the global one, right? Just add the
Yeah.
global here.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good. Is there a problem if a file transfer via UDP takes some time? Like, is it 5 seconds or more than that? Okay, okay. More than, for example, 2 seconds. I think 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, maybe it's not a good idea, but like let's say you can try to improve it from now, but just in case you cannot do it at the end of the submission, yes, you need to mention this one in the report. You can say my like uploading is working properly, but the speed is very slow. Just wait for 2 minutes. I think you could lose some marks for that because usually it will take only 1 or 2 minutes, 1 or 2 seconds at most. So try another method, but just in case this is your plan B. So we are not doing, we are not applying any limitation on the speed in here. So maybe like this one is a trade-off of your method, right? So you have to throttling your speed to make sure you can get the stuff correctly. So this is the trade-off. You can write it in the report if you use this method. But I'm not pretty sure like what kind of problem that you need to use this method. But you can just have a quick look of the method we used yesterday. Let's open this one for you. The sender and receiver. And see, that's the code from yesterday's tutorial. It's not tutorial, just the help session. You can check out the recording on the GitHub link. And yeah, we do have this one. We have a recording about this. That's how we send it. You can see just a while loop, then we can do it. Oh, this 2 is sender, it's not receiver. This is the receiver. The while loop. Can you try send the example? And drop packet at the receiver side. Oh, strange. Yeah, because I didn't test the example. Sample video. I'm not sure if it is working properly on the, but will be fine. Let me try. The sender example 2.mp4. Is there any way we can play it? Okay. Try to run this one. Yeah. File downloaded, the sender, and we just go to the receiver side. So we just check the property at first. It is 2.6 MB. And check. Oh, it's different. You can see I dropped some packets during this time. So I can see your problem. So this one we lost some packets, right? Yeah, so I can see the reason why you are limiting the packets, because if we send it too quick, we will have this problem. So let's try to improve it right now. So the first idea came to my mind is change the buffer size like this and see if it's working or not. Okay. I can see, but I will try to play this one at first and see. It's not playable, right? Not working. Not a good idea. But yeah. So this one cannot get the mark if we cannot play it. So we have to try to handle this issue and try to send it, receive type. The property is 4.1. Looks good. Oh, cannot play it, isn't it? Yeah, we cannot play it. Even we have the correct size. This one can be played. This one cannot be played. So must be some kind of problem inside the code. So in here, what's the problem? I think it is the error on here, because the packet will arrive in a different order. So we need to reorganize it to do something here. When we send the packets, maybe we need to have attached with a number or something. Otherwise, we can do like you, like we apply a delay on this, like import time every packet time dot live 0.01 1 millisecond. Not sure should be enough. And yeah, receiver delete receiver example. Okay, still not pretty good, right? Because we may need to make sure it have some. Oh yeah, let's try to play it. But okay, not too bad. Yeah, so this is a trade-off, because so let's analyze what's the reason that we have this problem here. So in here we have this issue because we are trying to send a lot of UDP packets in here in the sender side, but when we arrive the receiver side, some packets may lost because if we send it too fast, our network interface cannot accept it and will drop some of it. And another problem is the order is different. Like even we send it one by one in the correct order, but it doesn't mean to be correct order in the receiver side. We may receive the last order at first. So we need to handle this problem by using like applying more mechanism on here. Like before you write it, maybe you need to check out what is the packet order, right? Like you can have a sequence number or something like that in here, but just to make it clear, I don't put more code in here. So that's the reason we have. So if you don't want to fix this one, the easiest way to do it is to just change the buffer size to a larger one. Like pick out what is the maximum number for this. I'm not pretty sure. Did you try what is the maximum buffer size? I try to do times every 500,000 packets. Yes, maybe there's a slight loss because we are using UDP. So you need to do the RDP by yourself by checking the length and use the hash to make sure you have the complete file. So just to save time, I use the time.sleep here and change the buffer size. It can still work, but that's definitely not the best way because we want you to do the RDP by yourself. And for example, in here, every time you read it and send it, when you read it, maybe you can attach with the sequence number for this packet. So make sure you have the correct order in the receiver side. So if there is no RDP, then we send a large video, and this method will not work. Yes, so GitHub link. GitHub link should be in here. No, this one. This one. Yeah, the recording from yesterday is in here. I will also upload this one into the recording. P2P is only used for P2P, right? Yes. So make sure you are using UDP in P2P.
Hi, Ray.
Yeah.
May I ask how the file contents are transferred? Can you continue to share your screen about your code?
Yep.
Yeah. So the left-hand side, the sender sends the file name and the file contents to the right-hand side server. But I think the sender sends the file contents piece by piece, right? Like one piece at one time and continue to read and send.
Mhm.
Yeah, but how the receiver receives the file? Are they does it receive the file contents piece by piece or all of the contents at one time?
Like how can the receiver side? I missed that part. Can you repeat that?
Yeah. So how much file content each time does the receiver receive?
One at a time.
One
So
piece at a time.
yeah, so while data, and we will receive one. So maybe you are talking about the packet size. Packet size is 496 bytes.
Yeah, so on line 23, the receiver.py, each time the receiver just receive 4096 bytes of the contents, right?
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
So in one UDP packet, we have this much, 496, and then yeah, we need to send a lot of packets. You can see we send a lot of it.
yeah, because I'm considering when I want to do some modular programming, which means I read one more function about UED, right?
Yeah.
And put all of the function into that, put all of the operations into that function. So every time I call the UED function,
Mhm.
will it read the rest of the contents sent by the sender?
Every time you read, I didn't quite get it.
Can I share a little piece of my code just about
Yeah,
this part?
you can share it.
So the left-hand side is the server and the right-hand side is the client. So the server will pass the message sent by the client, and if the UED is inside the message, it will call the self.ued function.
Mhm.
And this function is used to read the file name. I mean, open a file whose file ID is coming from this message, and the contents comes from this one.
Okay.
But the contents,
Content IC decode and UED. Yeah, okay, I see. You have a new function called UED. Then
yeah,
you put the message and the file content into this function, and then what happened next?
yeah, I'm just afraid that each time it only receives this
Yeah,
much of file
Yeah.
contents, but
Yeah.
after it's left this
yeah.
code block.
What if the packet is more than one in this one? For example, the client side send the 2 packets about this one because the message is too long to send in one packet.
Yes, and the last one will not be received, right?
Yes. So
Yeah,
you
I'm
may lost
asking.
one of it.
Yeah, I'm asking, do you think this is the right approach, or should I discard this approach to write another UED function?
Yeah, I'm not sure like what is the UED in your side. Maybe you are writing something into the file.
Yeah, the contents of the UED function is just the same as the function you
Okay.
introduced
You
yesterday.
just open it and write it. But the problem is you only have one packet in here, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what happens if you send 2 packets or a larger one? then
Yeah,
maybe
the
a
comms
problem. So
there will be problem. Yeah.
yeah, so maybe just fix it. It's okay, but just how about just put a receive and decode into the UED function?
Oh, you mean this one?
Yeah, these two
But
lines.
what are the parameters?
Parameters of sockets, right? Self.socket doesn't really matter. You can
Also,
use it inside this one.
I can modify the function to be
Yeah, or you can, yeah, you can just keep the socket to it. Okay. Or you can, do you need to give the self socket if they are in the same class? You already have the socket.
yeah.
I mean, if the UED function is, yeah, I can see UED function is inside this class. So you don't need to give the socket to the UED because the UED can use it directly.
Because the client socket is a global variable.
It's not the global variable. It's within the class, right? It's
Yeah.
inside the class. So and the UED function is also inside this class, so you can use it.
Oh, right.
You don't need
So
to
like
give
with-
it to them. Yeah, you don't need to pass it. But yeah, the
I'll
message.
just
Yeah, maybe
put
when
a
you-
message.
Yeah, maybe you just need to give the message.
I see. I'll try to modify my code. Thanks
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah, okay. Are we assuming only UVP use binary file or the somehow? Okay. I use option R and W instead of RB and WP for the rest of the assignment. I think RB and WB is better. So it says consider this one as the binary file. So we may send binary file without any extension, but it could be a like log file like this. The name is LG log, and the content inside could be some text like test, and test. The content inside could be this one, and so this is the text file actually. And we may we may also try some like 001 inside the log file. Or we can also send the example file. So don't worry too much. If you can send the video and the pictures and the text file, it should okay. It'll be fine.
Okay, yeah, I was just wondering because the text files can be sent just with, without making them bytes.
Yes.
And like I've mostly used text files. I haven't implemented UVP yet. But like my log files and as well as like the files produced by the EDG commander text files.
Yeah, I can understand that because you are like familiar with how to send a text file, but actually they are quite similar, right? So
Okay.
just with the different parameters with the open function.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think I'll just standardize it and use RB and WB then. Yeah.
Yes, because we are asking you to send a file, but we don't care about the format of the file inside. So you don't need to translate the byte into string in this way. So you just simply send the file that we requested. So and because if you use the parameter R and W only, which means you want to like do the decode of the file first, you need to try to read it first, and then you try to save it later. So you may have caused some format error. So just use the RB and WB.
Okay. But then like for the SCS command, like it's good to open up the file and read the contents again.
Yeah.
is there any conversion needed then from bytes to text? Or is that just done through the decode?
Yes, I think decode should be enough.
Okay, yeah. Yep, I'll try it out. I just haven't had much experience with using the RB option.
That's not the problem. So I think that's all for today. And we will have 2 help sessions on next Thursday and Friday. For the Friday one, we will have it before the submission. So if you have any trouble with the submission, so we have this session just right before the submission. It should be starting from 10 a.m. to 12. So if you have any trouble with the submission, or if you want to have further discussion about the code, you can come to this meeting again next week. Or like if you have any other question, feel free to post it on the forum. Like for example, you are not sure about the specification in some way, just post it so you can make sure you get it correct. And yeah, and thanks for coming today. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, have good luck with your assignment.
Oh wait, do we?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have one last question. For like when we log in, like we gotta add the logs to the edgelog text file, right?
Yes.
Is it better to read and write or better to read and like append?
Maybe append, but you need to delete it when the user log out, right? Or maybe not, just the log out log.
Oh no, we have to delete it when we log out.
Do we need to delete on the logout? I need
Yes.
to check. Yeah. Exit. Yeah, so you may want to delete the line on the out command, but for the login, you just simply add one new line. It's okay.
Okay.
So you just use the parameter A, or you can use the parameter W. It's okay. You just read and add one more row at the end of it. It's the same.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, all good. Have a good luck and see you.